Welcome to another Invested series, and today we've got our resident expert Bron, who looks after our frauds and scams area. And the topic we're going to touch on is actually how you can look and mitigate your risks about getting caught out and getting your money taken off you from some of these fraudsters and scammers. In particular, our focus today is going to be on international investment scams. But before we do, who's the picture of this dog? Who's this?
Oh, she's pretty cute, right? That's Riley. She's our 6-month-old golden retriever.
Excellent. And we always have a little bit of public interest around what people like as a backdrop, and we've chosen Riley. Obviously not digging any holes in that photo, which is great, because I know my golden retriever does, Ruby. So, and she's 3 years old, so watch out for that.
And shoes.
And shoes?
Yeah.
So big topic today, frauds and scams. It seems to me that we're almost seeing on a daily basis an article or another scam or another fraud or another way that a New Zealander or New Zealanders have lost their hard-earned money. When we think and talk about investment scams that are being kind of facilitated overseas, what are the characteristics and how do they work and who's doing it and why? Where does all this money go?
So many questions.
Let's start with the first one. Who are these rascals that are getting on with this?
Well, we know that a lot of them is organised crime. We know that for a fact. These guys get out of bed and they go to work to get your hard-earned money.
Just like we do?
Just like we do.
Just like the people that they're getting scammed earning their hard-earned money, but their job is to take your money away.
Yeah, and then what they're doing with that money afterwards, it could be anything, but we know it's organised crime.
And being an investment scam kind of makes, by title, what by definition they're doing, but can you talk us through what type of investments are they talking about?
Sure.
And what's the hook that are getting people caught out?
One of the overseas investment scams that is really hitting New Zealanders big time are the overseas share offers. They receive a cold call, a victim receives a cold call out of the blue, someone's offering them the latest IPO or share.
What's an IPO?
An initial public offering.
Excellent, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah. So they offer them, it is current news. So they take that current news and they use it against you to try and sell you some fake shares.
Right, so these shares are not listed, they've got no value, but they've created a sense of urgency around buying them because they're a great buy.
Yep.
And you've got to part your money and give them the money so you can buy these fake shares, essentially.
Absolutely. And the money will go overseas straight away.
That's one of the other things.
One of the things, and also with a lot of these shares, the bank accounts will change.
Right.
And they'll say that they have to change them because that bank account has reached its maximum limit, and then they give you another bank account to use. A lot of them are based out of Hong Kong, a lot of the bank accounts.
Look, the problem that I think publicly the perception is that, how could people fall for such a trick? Are we talking about some really sophisticated operators now?
We are talking extremely sophisticated operators. This is big money. They're earning really big money, and they can afford to invest in really sophisticated websites, sophisticated documentation, and sophisticated talk.
Right, so even if you think sounds a bit dodgy, might do a bit of research, they give you the websites that looks really professional, looks real.
Some of them even have live chat.
So with that sophistication, that makes a bit of sense. So how can New Zealanders, where do they go to find out whether these places are real or not? How can they actually see whether that they're valid?
They have to do an awful lot of research, but they can contact the Financial Markets Authority.
Here in New Zealand? Yeah, so go on their website and there'll be some to talk to them, but they also might have some links around other sites.
Yep, they can talk to their lawyers, their solicitors, find out some more. They can talk to us if they wanted to.
Great.
Yep. But big thing before you send any money is a lot of these people that I've spoken to, they said, I thought there was a little bit of a red flag, but I thought I'd just give it a go.
Right, and probably a little bit is, it's starting a little bit not a large amount initially, might be a small amount to get started. Is that kind of the trend as well? So
Yeah.
they might ask you, look, it's only cost $2,000 and you're going to get extra return. Is that how it kind of starts as well?
Very much so. The majority of them I saw were starting around $2,000, particularly with the shares, and then building up to, one guy lost 1.1 million.
$1.1 million.
That was one person.
Over what kind of time are we
That
talking
one was
about?
only around about 9-month time frame.
So clearly sophistication, they're believable and certainly provide a sense that this is going to give the investor a really good outcome.
Yeah, a really good return.
Okay, so investment scams, they're not like what we might think they used to be. There's a lot more sophistication. What about these things called binary options? I'm sure they're not sold as binary options, but talk us through what that means.
Well, yeah, binary options. You know, in the latest UK newspaper report, they said that binary options over the last 5 years had increased 400,000%.
Wow.
I didn't even know that percentages went that high.
That's
but
pretty
there you
big.
go. Yeah. So binary options start off, you may have filled out a survey or an email link, something like that, if you're interested in investing, and they will hook you into an online trade account you're buying, a foreign exchange or commodities, something like that. It's only small, $250.
As a start off.
Yeah.
So again, similar, I guess, characteristics, but on a different platform. So this is where you can buy and sell different stuff. Feels like a share broking account probably, but
Looks sophisticated.
but the money just goes nowhere or goes into the
It's basically
pockets.
online gambling.
Wow.
So you buy and sell, and your money goes up and down, and then all of a sudden it's gone. So they ask you to invest some more in it. You buy and sell, it's gone. I had one poor old guy, he lost $170,000 in a weekend.
Really?
Yeah, really sad. And that was money that was meant to look after his wife in her retirement care and also her sister.
Yeah, so the impact is not just the personal financial loss, but also, I guess, the effect it's going to have if you're in retirement, you can't recoup the money back. It has a massive impact emotionally as well.
Emotionally, yeah. You know, people are just devastated, and how do you come back from that? Not only have they lost the money, but they've lost trust and all of those sorts of things as well.
So we really want to encourage people, if they know of a scam or they have been scammed, to call it out.
Report
would be
it.
Really important. And where do they report it?
That we'll flick some stuff on the website, but you can report it to CERT or NetSafe.
Great.
Yeah.
I think that's really useful. And I guess lastly, the best thing is the ambulance at the top of the cliff, because it sounds like with these scams, there's no way in most cases you're going to get your money back.
That's right.
So how can New Zealanders protect themselves from these rather sophisticated villains, I think is probably the best way I could put them?
Yeah, profit-motivated crime.
Excellent.
Yeah. Stop and think. If you get a phone call out of the blue, take your time to process the information. You know, the scammers use a range of persuasion techniques. You know, they use the scarcity, they use the fact that you've got to act now.
Right.
You know, they use social consensus that so-and-so's doing it, so these big organisations are involved, and it's all fake news.
So first thing, maybe just like when you want to buy something and you're not sure, let it cool down.
Yeah.
Cool down?
Yeah, let the ether get out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, obviously that's a good step, but if it's still, and that they're going to be persistent, right? So what are the other things that you can do to help with that?
Do due diligence, do lots and lots of homework.
Yeah.
That's your hard-earned money. You know, you work really hard for it, you need to keep it in your pocket. So
Absolutely.
do due diligence. Don't just trust that the website's real.
Do some more work.
Yeah.
Check
Look at-
overseas sites as well, I guess, that other regulators, like our New Zealand one, they'll have a list of those as well.
Absolutely. So if someone's offering investment advice from overseas, whatever country they say they're from, they should be regulated with.
Great.
So, and we'll also list our website, IOSCO, where you can go to and see all the world's investors.
Okay, well that sounds like some pretty good advice actually, and good information that's available. I know it's not easy sometimes to do that, but remember, it is your money. You need to protect it because you work really hard for it. Thanks, Bron, for coming along and talking to us today about frauds and scams, particularly on the international investment area. And I hope that the information that we provide to you today will maybe mitigate or take that risk off the table that you might lose that money in the future. Thanks very much.